Hey, what is going on, Twintendo Nation? Hope you're having an awesome day. Now today is the day the Pokemon Go Gen 2 update is starting to be rolled out to Android and iOS devices. Now currently it is 4 PM in the UK and I don't have the update yet. So at the moment it's a bit of a waiting game, but just keep in mind that if you don't have the update yet, most likely a lot of other people don't as well. So don't worry, I will tweet out when I do get the update, and most likely some of you might get it before me. But do expect quite a bit of Pokemon Go Gen 2 news today, because there's actually been quite a few new screenshots and new details shared in a Japanese press pack, which basically just shows off Generation 2 gameplay. And there are a lot of interesting things in these kind of screenshots and the press pack in general, and mainly we are going to be talking about Pokemon evolution today in terms of evolving old Pokemon into new ones and how that works. Now, we don't have details for every single Pokemon on how they're going to evolve from old Pokemon such as Umbreon and Espeon and obviously Crobat, but I will be making a video on every single evolution when I do get the confirmed details. But I'm going to be talking about the specific ones I mentioned yesterday in terms of Pokemon evolving from items such as the Metal Coat, Sunstone, Dragon Scale, and basically how that works in the game. Now before I start this video guys, question of the day to you: which old Pokemon are you most looking forward to evolving in Pokemon Go in Generation 2? Is it Cypher into Scizor? Is it Seadra into Kingdra? Let me know in the comments below. But without further ado guys, let me explain how to evolve old Pokemon into brand new Generation 2 Pokemon. So to evolve a Pokemon that normally needs a held item and then traded in the main games, there are two things in Pokemon Go you must have to actually evolve this Pokemon. Firstly, you need the item that corresponds to this Pokemon. So for example, either Onix or Cypher evolves with Metal Coat, and for Cypher, if you want to evolve, you have to get the Metal Coat item from a Pokestop. Now, we don't know how rare this item is, but I'm assuming it's going to be quite rare because they don't really want you to evolve this Pokemon straight away. They want you to be playing for quite a long time, so all you have to do really is keep visiting Pokestops and eventually you'll get an evolutionary item. Now the second item you need to evolve a Pokemon that normally evolves with a held item is obviously its candy. Like all Pokemon in Generation 1, to evolve the Pokemon you'd have to use a certain amount of candy. Now for Cypher, interestingly enough, this is a new number because normally like the numbers for evolving Pokemon are either 25, 50 or 100, and maybe the random number like Pidgey which has 12 candy to evolve. Cypher needs 40 candy plus 1 Metal Coat. So those are the two items you need, candy and Metal Coat. Now if we kind of look at this number, it seems like Metal Coat is basically taking off 10 Cypher candy which you'd normally need to evolve. So instead of needing 50 candy to evolve this Pokemon like it would be if Cypher had an evolution in Generation 1, the Metal Coat is needed as well, but you need less candy than what is usually expected of a Pokemon like that. So as for the other Pokemon that evolve with held items, we don't really know them at the moment. Like I said, I will make a video on every single detail when I can, but most likely it's going to be a very similar number. I can imagine Onix will probably need 40 Onix candy plus the Metal Coat to evolve. Gloom will need 40 Oddish candies plus a Sunstone to evolve into a Blossom. Slowpoke will need 40 Slowpoke candy plus a King's Rock to evolve, and the list goes on basically. As for other Pokemon like Umbreon and Espeon, well, as we know, there is a day and night cycle in Pokemon Go, and obviously to evolve those Pokemon you need to raise their friendship in either the day for Espeon or either the night time for Umbreon. Now we don't really know how to actually gain friendship in Pokemon Go, but one thought that comes to mind for me is making it a buddy Pokemon, your Eevee, and walking around with it. And maybe if you walk a certain amount of kilometers in the daytime, so let's say for example 5 kilometers, and then you try and evolve that Eevee is guaranteed to evolve into an Espeon because you walked a certain distance in daytime, and it would be vice versa basically for Umbreon, walk 5 kilometers at nighttime, or when obviously the game says it's night. And that can be around 6 to 7 PM, so yeah, they wouldn't be too dangerous luckily. So that would make sense a lot for me, like the friendship is kind of in correlation with buddy Pokemon, and obviously that would be the same with Golbat. You walk a certain distance, then you'd be able to evolve Golbat into Crobat. I really wish I knew more guys, but that's all the info I know on evolving old Pokemon so far. But like I said, I will make a new video on all the details you'll need. But let's look at a few new things in terms of the Pokemon Go Gen 2 update. So we have a screenshot here of Sentret. This is the first time we've actually seen Sentret in the wild, and you can see they're using one of the new berries on it. Now looking at this berry, it seems to be a pineapple berry, which kind of looks like a pineapple, hence the name, and this berry allows you to double the amount of candy you'll receive when you catch the Pokemon. However, if you don't catch the Pokemon after you've used it, the berry will go to waste, so you've got to be confident about catching that Pokemon. And the final thing I want to talk about in this video is that if you see on this Pikachu picture, we finally have Pokemon genders in Pokemon Go, which is fantastic. Not sure if breeding is a possibility or whether that's going to be introduced into the game, but the reason they've added these Pokemon genders is basically they just want to show the gender differences between Pokemon. So as we can see, this Pikachu is female and therefore it has that heart kind of tail, and obviously there are a load of other gender differences in Generation 1 and obviously Generation 2, and I'll try to cover them as much as I can when we get them in the game. But guys, that's it for this video. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more Pokemon Go leaks or just Pokemon Go Gen 2 news in general today, so stay tuned to this channel and hopefully I'll have some more videos on the way later. But guys, if you did enjoy this video and you're looking forward to Generation 2, definitely hit the like button. I'd really appreciate the support for the Generation 2 launch in Pokemon Go, and if you want to stay up to date with all Pokemon Go news and gameplay, then hit the subscribe button down below. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching, hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you on the next video. Peace!